Today we're going to upgrade my greenhouse lighthouse grow mat, heat mat. That's way too long. I'm going to call him Bruce. Meet Bruce. Bruce, YouTube. We're going to upgrade him today. We're going to put in some panel lights down the bottom. We're going to put in some heat mats. We're going to make him more reflective by putting a shiny lining all around him that I got from Temu. You can have a look at that video too if you want. And generally just make him a better Bruce than he is at the moment. Now, one thing you may notice, if you look carefully over there, there are already extra lights. He seems to be wrapped in silver, and there's lots of punnets of seeds in there sitting on nice heat mats. And that's because when I first decided to do this, I forgot to press record on my camera, me being the genius that I am. So just pretend nothing's been done. Nothing to see here, people. Off you go. Go home. Anyway, have a look how it's done. I've got a feeling this is going to be good, but I may be wrong. What I'm doing here is I'm taking my light panels and I'm putting them on the lower shelf here. Just going to roughly cable tie them up to these sides. And there he is there. Let's turn him around. Here's my next one. I'm going to put it roughly in the middle. So I'll put him here. Now I know these would be better above, but I don't trust these because they're not protected in any way from the watering. So I'm hoping the reflection will cause the light to diffuse enough that it won't make any difference. I'm not going to tighten them up until I've got everything in place and I know it's all good-ish. But the next thing we've got to do is put our reflector on, which I bought. Okay, it's working. We'll set the timer up on this one. Let's tighten them up. Putting these on to basically stop it swinging around all over the place. Taking these off so we don't poke a hole in our fairly flimsy cover. Now what we've got to do is get the cables up to the front, hanging down here, so I can get the power onto them. Okay, timer's not in the best position, but it's not going to be a biggie because it's not going to change that often. I'm going to set up for 12 hours and that's it. And over we go. Now, these have to be kept out of the weather because being cheap and nasty, they rust. So he's got to be on the outside. I'm going to take these off without cutting my light strip. I don't think I need them with the other one. And as I mentioned in the first video, do all this before you put the cover on. What I'm going to do is, from this side, I'm going to poke holes and put cable ties in it. Right, let's cut it to length. I'm never going to use that bottom shelf, so it's not that critical. Tip move scissors. Not pretty, but it should work. Let's turn around and have a look inside. Alright, so we've got nice silver stuff all the way around. I'll see if I've got enough silver to do a couple of the trays. And now to try and get that cover on. It's a bit easier than I expected. I really thought I'd struggle to get that back on. Okay, so we've got to tie it off at the base again. We'll put some silver on the shelves and we'll see how we go. Alright, we'll use cable ties. Recommendation, if you get one of these cheap greenhouses, don't use the ties cable tie them down. Pop a couple of holes in the plastic where you need to put the thing through. Okay, so we've got cable ties in the corners to hold it down. We've got our reflective material inside. Let's stand it up and get the power to it. Okay, I've moved him over here so he's nearer the power, which is just up on that wall. We've got USB that we need to plug in here, and my heat mats for the seedlings require AC power, so I've got to plug them in there as well. So let's get a couple of these shelves covered, see how we go. Come on, Timber Scissors, I know you can do it. Doesn't cover the whole thing. I'm not fussed. Let's see if we can get him in there and then I'll do the others. Good enough. Alright, I'll get the rest of these done and then we'll get the cabling and heat maps on. Heat maps? Heat map. Heat map is the thing I play around with at work, and I don't want to think about that. Back soon. So, if I'd thought and measured it, I would have found out that it goes perfectly that way. Now, luckily, I caught it sort of in time. One of them's not much trouble down the bottom. That's the first one I did. But all these are pretty good. So we'll pop them in, get our plants in, get my heat map. Keep doing that. It's not a heat map. It is a heat mat for growing seeds. I'll get that in because it's pretty cold out here most nights. Power up the lights because the power is over there. And I need USB for the originals and the new grow lights. But I need mains power for my heat mats. So let's get this one in. Let's go over and unpack a heat mat. Why do I say map? But here's a heat mat. Let's see what's in there. There we go. It's in a nice little plastic sleeve. Let's see how big it is. There we go. Not bad. And there's a control here. So our control has real temperature and set temperature on it. We're going to go and plug this in, see how warm it gets, see how quickly it warms up. Then I shall put it in my grow house. Got two of them. Alright, so there he is. On the control we have a power button, which I'll turn on. I'll turn it around here so it's actually the right way around. Tells me the temperature is 18 degrees, my set temp is 35. I'm quite sure what it goes up to. Let's find out. 50. Don't think we want 50. 35 is good. Alright, we'll give that a few minutes and see how it goes. Alright, that's been about 10 minutes and the temperature has risen to 29 degrees, still on the way, and it's nice and warm. So I'll leave that for a bit more and we'll get the other one in. And there she blows. Heat mat's in. I've got an experiment which I'll do a film on shortly, but it won't be published for a while. Seems to be reflecting nicely, not a lot of light coming out. Bit hard to tell in the daylight. Heat mats are in. My other ones that have been sitting there for a while are in. So we're done. I'm happy with that, hopefully. But we've got a test coming up. Stay tuned. Enjoy life, and I'll catch you in the garden.